Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Corey Ray Staringer, and today I'm going to be doing a video that'll be something you'll be seeing a lot here on my channel, and that is a paranormal story time. I have all kinds of dreams about ghosts, spirits, sometimes even demons, I guess dreams and nightmares, and I keep them all in this big black journal. And as you can see, it's about halfway filled already. I've been keeping this journal for about 2 years now, and it has things that have happened within that 2 years, both experiences and dreams, and it also has things that I experienced and dreamt that I found in like old dream journals, things that I remembered having dreams about, experiences from whenever I was a kid. So Paranormal Storytime is going to feature a lot of the stories in this journal. And today, I'm going to talk about a reoccurring one, which revolves around my aunt and uncle's old house that they lived in, that they raised my cousins in. And I'll insert a picture of that house here for you. So a little bit of history about the house you just saw. My aunt and uncle, like I said, lived there. It was in my aunt's family. I'm related on my uncle's side. It was in her family, and they had my 2 cousins that they raised there. And as a kid, I would stay up there all the time with them, was never afraid, never had any experiences or anything like that. Well, around the time I was 15, we moved out of our former house and into the neighboring house. And right after we moved into the new house, my aunt and uncle moved out of the house you just saw into our old house. And after that is when I started having all these dreams about that house. So it started out whenever, I guess I was about 15 still, 15, 16, right after they moved. And I had this dream that I was spending the night up there with my cousin, and he and I were laying in the bed going to sleep, and we felt something under the blanket. And we raised the blanket up, and there was this, like, child, well, the way my cousin looked whenever he was little. And all of a sudden, it turned into this black shadow figure, still in the shape of the child. And it just like crawled up really fast up through the blankets. I woke up and was obviously scared. But that's what started the whole thing. Well, then it turned into dreams about the attic. The first dream took place in his former bedroom, and after that, all the other dreams took place in the attic. And in the house, you walk up to the top of the stairs, and there's a little square landing. On your left, you had the doorway to the attic. Straight in front of you, you have my cousin's room, the girl. And on the right, you have my other cousin's room, the boy. And that first dream was in the one on the right. So the attic, that started out, I would have dreams that I would go into the house. Like the first one I remember having was going into the house after they had moved out. No one was living there. And we went in and we could hear, well, I could hear this dark, evil voice coming out of the attic. And in a lot of these dreams, you'll see reoccurring themes that I'm the only one that can see or hear things. Why that is, I don't know. But, so that when we were in the house, we kept hearing the voice, or I kept hearing the voice, and we were escaping out of the house. And then, after that, I had one where the house had been turned into a store on the first level, and I was in the store, and I could hear the voice coming from the attic. I had another one where a new family had bought the house, and completely renovated it, to where it was unrecognizable. And my cousins and I went up there to see how different it was, and we were walking down this hallway that they had put in on the second floor, and we walked past the old attic, and we still heard, well, I still heard the voice coming out of there. Well, eventually it turned into, the last dream with the voice was another one where someone had bought and renovated the house, and my cousin, the girl, and I were in the former attic. It was still, I could hear the voice coming in and out of there. And I have this app on my phone that she had showed me, and it's like a spirit box, basically. So I turned it on, and I'm asking the spirit in the dream, if there's anyone here, do you want to talk to me? And it came across there saying my name, and it was back in the far left corner of the room, once you enter the room, far left corner. Well, after that, it evolved into dreams about that far left corner. I had a dream where it was, the attic was turned into a store, like a toy store. I went up there was walking around, and I could hear the voice in the corner. Had another dream where I went up there. It was still a toy store. It was a lot nicer toy store this time, though. And I was walking around. I don't think I heard the voice in that, or not the voice. I didn't feel anything over in that corner, but I walked around through the shelves of the store, and there was this plastic Raggedy Ann doll sitting on the shelf, and it blinked when I looked at it. And I woke up. And then there was one, I guess shortly after that. So the corner was a couple of dreams, not as much as the voice was. But then the one dream I went up there, my aunt was having a birthday party for somebody. And I go up there, and for some reason the party was happening in the attic. So I go up the stairs, and before I reach the top, I see this little ghost boy standing at the top, and before I reach him, he disappears. Well, then I go into the attic. I'm telling everyone I have dreams all the time about this attic, because obviously I think I'm awake. And I'm going to walk over here to this far left corner and see if anything's over here, like I keep dreaming about. So I walk over, nothing happened. I walk back around the room, and there's all these chairs. There's like a row of 3 or 4 facing this way, and then the same facing that way. I walk around the chairs, and sitting in the one chair is this boy that my cousins and I knew as a kid. I was in like Boy Scouts and different things with him. But a kid that I knew who had grown up, and he had sadly passed since we'd become adults. I think he was like only 20. But he was talking to me, and I can't remember what he was saying. And the only thing I could remember was, oh my gosh, he doesn't realize he's passed away. Well, shortly after that, the little ghost boy I saw at the beginning of that dream, it turned into its own thing too. So the next dream I had, which just started out weird, I was auditioning for America's Got Talent. And just as I was getting ready to walk out onto the stage, I found myself at the top of the stairs of that house. So I sat down on the floor in that little landing I talked about earlier, and I have my back to the attic door, and I'm facing into my cousin, the boy's bedroom where the first dream had took place. And it's like a 90s style TV, like the big boxy ones that you don't see anymore other than thrift shops and stuff. And I'm watching America's Got Talent on it. Well, as I'm sitting there, I feel like somebody's standing behind me, and I turn around and look at the attic door, and there's the little ghost boy, and he takes a step toward me and disappears. Well, then I turn back around, and laying on the stand that the TV was setting on were like these letter-shaped blocks, almost like the magnets you put on your refrigerator. But they were wooden blocks. They were laying face down, and they were moving around on the table by themselves. And eventually they stopped, and laying face down on the table, spelled backwards, was the words, "Believe me." And I woke up. Well, I was telling my one aunt, not the one that lived there, but another, and she was telling me, oh, maybe the little boy is so-and-so's son that passed away when he was like 5, which was the aunt and uncle that owned the house. Not my aunt and uncle, but my aunt's aunt and uncle that owned the house. And the next dream that very night, and I think this was inspired because she had said that, I had a dream that I went up there. My cousin was coming out of the house, and I'm like, oh, you're up here. Let's go up to the attic. And she's like, no, let's wait till another day. And I'm like, oh, no, we're already here. Let's go. So we go in the house. I go upstairs, look in the attic, and sure enough, there's the little boy sitting at a table collaring. And I walk in, and I'm the only one who can see him, of course, as usual. And I walk in with my little brother, and I'm like, oh, you're actually here. You are real. I've been dreaming about this all this time, thinking again that I'm awake. And so he keeps like appearing and disappearing, reappearing, disappearing. And eventually he touches my brother's shoulder, and I told him, oh, he's trying to play tag with you. My brother freaked out. And I said, well, go downstairs. So he went downstairs, and I'm up there by myself. I take out my phone and turn that app on, and I'm asking all these questions. And I finally say, oh, are you so-and-so? And he said, yes. And that was, I think, the last dream that I had about the attic. But the reason being, shortly after, well, about a month after that, maybe even 2 months, I finally was talking to my cousin, the girl, one day when we went swimming, telling her she already knew I'd been having all these dreams. And I told her how they've still been going on, how they've been evolving, and everything. I said, we need to go in that attic sometime. And she's like, well, let's go up this evening. So we ended up going up to the house and walking up to it. The picture you saw, it was grown up a little bit in the front. That was from 2 years ago. Now, the house, the grass and weeds in the front yard are literally almost as tall as I am, and I'm 6'5". So walking up to the house itself, not just because of the dreams, but just from being there a lot whenever I was a kid, and then just all of a sudden never going back up there for 10 years. Maybe even more. I guess it's been 10 years. No, it's been 11 years. Yeah, it's been 11 years. So we went back up there. The grass has really grown up. You walk up on the porch, it's all rickety and falling in and everything. The front door had been smashed out by somebody. And we walked inside, and her and her parents and them still had stuff in the house. Their aunt and uncle let them store stuff there, even though they couldn't stay there anymore for some reason. But, so we walk in, somebody had broken into the house and completely ransacked it. It was like drawers ripped out of the kitchen, the ceiling from not having heat and stuff in it for so long was starting to cave in and all. It was just eerie in itself seeing the house like that. After the last time I was in there, it was their home. Like I said, I loved going up there as a kid. I was up there a good bit. If I wasn't at their house, they was in my house. But it was sad seeing it like that and eerie in itself. It was like returning to a place you knew so well as a child, and it was completely different. So immediately, of course, I wanted to go upstairs to the attic. And I walk up there, and the ceiling was slanted. It was a lot smaller than I remembered, and in the dreams it's a lot bigger. And I walked in, just took a peek inside. There was still stuff in there, obviously. Well then, in my cousin, the one that was with me, the girl's room, straight across from the landing, she had a half of the attic. Like the main attic, and then there was a wall, and then there was another door in her room that was like another half of the attic. And we walked in there. Very first thing I find laying on the floor is a plastic Raggedy Ann and Andy doll clock. And I pick it up and look at it, expecting to see it blink like it did in the dream, you know. I even pinched myself a couple times to see if I was dreaming, but obviously I wasn't. So there was that. Well then, and this didn't even like occur to me until like a month ago. I was telling people at my work about this. My cousin found this little photo album in the attic. It was from her brother's birthday party for whenever we were kids. And in almost all the pictures from the birthday party was the boy that I knew as a kid that has since passed away whenever he was a little boy. And just like the little spirit boy in the last dream who I thought was so-and-so's son, he was a little blonde-haired boy, blue eyes, just like that. So I don't know if these dreams were like telling me, like giving me some kind of premonition or what, but to have a dream about going into the attic and specifically seeing a plastic, not a cloth like you normally see, a plastic Raggedy Ann doll sitting on the shelf that blinks, and then walking into the attic and the first thing you find is a plastic Raggedy Ann and Andy clock. And mind you, I haven't been in this house in 11 years. And I don't even remember them having a plastic Raggedy Ann and Andy clock. Is the thing too. Like, I don't remember ever seeing that. And then, to find that photo album with this boy in there at a birthday party, and in the dream where I saw him in the attic, it was during a birthday party. And I saw a little boy before I saw him. Now, I don't know if that was telling me, remember me? Well, here I am now as an adult, you know? I don't know. It's just, it's eerie in itself. And things like that, the dreams in general, I get from my mom's side, but that's for another video. But like the premonition kind of thing where you'll dream of something and then you'll find something relatable in the waking state. And I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think something's in this house that's trying to tell me something? I haven't had any more dreams about the house since that last one with the little boy that told me he was so-and-so. And I haven't had any since I went up there and actually got to go inside. I don't know if that gave me closure to realize that I found stuff. I did one dream this past week, actually, though. But it wasn't a spirit dream. I dreamed there was a zombie apocalypse and my family and I was taking refuge in the house and we tried to hide in the attic. And there was, in the one half of the attic where we found the photo album and the Raggedy Ann and Andy thing, there was like a rack of clothes and behind the clothes was this door that went into the wall. So I don't know if that's going to lead into something new or what, but I guess we'll find out. But like I said, let me know what you think in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this and my other videos I do on here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and you're getting all the notifications. And when I post new things, I'm going to try to start posting more than what I have been. My phone doesn't have a whole lot of memory, so every time I make a video, it takes forever to edit and then it doesn't want to save. So hopefully I can start working better with that. But thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Thanks.